4 other games being played this afternoon. Let's check the scores, and you'll find it's close to a tipster's nightmare, really. St Kilda at Moorabbin, trailing the Cats by just on 5 goals, 21-50. North Melbourne handsomely ahead of the Brisbane Bears, 10-6 to 5-2. Pretty close between Melbourne and Fitzroy, a lot closer than many people expected, 5-8 to 3-9. And remember, in the early game this year, Richmond got pipped right on the post by Essendon. I think it was 1 point from memory. And today they're doing it again, 5-11 to 4-4.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
I think it's true to say most people at Princes Park expected Carlton to win, but they're a long way from winning this game. Bernie Quinlan, aren't they, at the moment? 3 goals behind.
They certainly are, Peter, and you would think, Robbo, that Adelaide have played the better football and deserve to be in the position they are in at the moment. They've played a perfect brand of wet weather football. They've had the forwards, Klug, who's done particularly well at centre-half forward. He's had Dean moved off him. Verbeek's now playing at centre-half back. Murphy's kicked 2 goals. They could have had another goal through Liptak right on the end of the right at the end of the quarter there. Would have put them further in front. There was also a very lucky free kick awarded to Siri up the other end of the ground. So Adelaide may have been 12 points further up had a couple of things gone their way as we look at the match stats. 107 to 101 kicks, which is fairly even. Handball fairly even. Well, look at the marks, though. 41 to 24, well in favour of Adelaide. They've done well in that area. Klug, particularly at centre-half forward, who's been fantastic. Hit-outs well in favour of Justin Madden, 20 to 7. And centre breaks, though, going the other way, 7 to 4 in favour of Adelaide. And they've certainly done the hard work and deserved their lead at half-time.
I think you should have given a mention to their defence, Bernie. You mentioned it during the second term. Players like Maynard and Smart, even Tasker. Bickley's done pretty well, and they've been the players that have been prepared to sacrifice, take a bit of a punt and run down the ground and create maybe hand pass targets and short kicking targets.
Yeah, certainly.
We're going to have a look at Justin Madden now, who has been a key player for Carlton over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, gee, that was a pretty severe knock there from Johnny Klug, and one that, the AFL may even have a look at that one.
Do you think your mate Maxi Crockford might be calling in here?
Well, if they're consistent, they should have a look at these type of incidents.
Early,
as well.
What about the incidents at the start of the game?
I was going to mention that, Peter, that early in the game there looked as though, I think that most teams believe that Carlton is soft, and therefore they go in with that attitude. Let's try them out early, and that's exactly what Adelaide did. There was a heck of a lot of skirmishes at centre-half forward for Adelaide.
More than skirmishes, wasn't it?
There were a couple of questionable things done by both parties.
A couple of big punches let go, Robbo, too. Whoppers.
Well, do you think... Well, obviously, this game is going to be viewed very closely.
Well, certainly. There are so many incidents that occurred at the start of the match that the AFL must look at these type of things, because we do not want to see that type of thing happen at the start of a match.
Well, again, I mean, you can't take toughness out of footy.
Well, that's not toughness. That wasn't toughness. We love to see the bumps and the hard knocks and all that sort of stuff.
The specific things that you're talking about, where a bloke lays one on a guy's jaw, most definitely. But maybe they might have been a little bit overzealous in their endeavours to try and soften Carlton up at the start of the game.
Well, we don't know who to blame, really. It could have been half Carlton's fault. We don't know, but probably some of the tagging that took place, and Bradley's one of the players that's always involved in those sort of incidents because he's so closely tagged at the start of the match.
We saw it last night too in the West Coast Eagles and Collingwood game, didn't we? Similar sort of start. Players asserting their authority, or trying to, before the siren.
Well, I think that when the crunch situation is on, Peter. Last night it was a big game, quite a huge build-up, and today's very much the same. Both of these sides feel as though they've got slight chances of making the finals. And Bernie mentioned before the game, I think that whoever loses basically gets that far behind that with only about 7 or 8 matches to go, they haven't got much hope. So that's when the situation occurs like we saw early in the piece. All players rather, are all fired up. I mean, can you imagine Neil Curley in the rooms before the game? And on the other hand, at Carlton, there'd be a player in there, Brucey Combat or someone like that, revving the guys up. This is a must-win, and particularly on your own ground, Carlton have got plenty of incentive.
Yep. All right, well, we'll leave it there. A pretty fiery opening to the game, and maybe the best part still to come. The Crows leading by 3 goals at half-time. We'll be back for the final 2 quarters in just a moment. Teams back out onto the ground for the resumption of play. 18 points the difference in favour of Adelaide after they outscored Carlton for the second consecutive quarter, 3-2 to 2-3 in the second term and 3-3 to 1-2 in the first quarter. David Rhys-Jones is out injured.
Great to see him without the crutches.
That's a start anyway.
Peter. Yeah, gee whiz, he looked pretty ordinary about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but certainly walking without the aid of the crutches is a good sign for him and for Carlton.
Speaking of injuries, I don't think Justin Madden's out there either. He looks as though he's going to be sitting on the bench for the resumption of play, which is just about imminent.
Peter, in years gone by, when conditions like this thrust upon us, coaches haven't been frightened to take tall players off the ground and put the medium-sized players on because they're more adaptable to these conditions.
Sounds sensible. 18 points the difference at Princes Park as we begin the second half of the game. 2 excellent quarters of wet weather football by Adelaide. Caviden's kick to Alvin, off the ground. Brown intercepting is Gleeson. Gleeson the high kick inside 50, half forward for Carlton. Kernahan down to Arceri, who's already kicked 2. Off the ground, Ratton. Free kick though it's going to be taken by Arceri. Technical perhaps. Correct, says umpire Carey.
No, I think the free kick was there, Pete. As we watch this again, Smart right into the middle of the back of Arceri.
He's kicked 2 goals so far. One came from a free kick, which was certainly more controversial than that in the second quarter. And from those 4 kicks, he's kicked the 2 goals. Now, it should be a new football, so it won't be heavy. If he can get footing, he does, and kicks truly. 3 goals to Mark Arceri. Great start by Carlton to the third quarter. The Blues, 4 goals 5. Adelaide, 6 goals 5.
Well, they're clawing their way back, Pete, aren't they? They're only 12 points down now, and everything's gone their way since that free kick was awarded halfway through that second quarter. The free kick, as we see in replay again, Arceri in front, doing the right thing, doing the roving in the forward pocket from that marking contest. Steve Kernahan playing at full forward.
3 goals to Arceri, 4-5 to 6-5. Caviden hits down, picked up by Tregenza, a short kick, and a chance for Murphy, who we believe had his number taken in the first quarter. This is Jamison, one of the best kicks in the side. Not this time. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will be taken in the last line of defence for Carlton by David Kernahan.
I tell you, the number of times that you give someone a bit of a rap, and they let you down like that.
Unbelievable.
You'd have given Jamison some chance of putting that right in front of the goals, but David Kernahan looking to the umpire to give him some instruction as to where to kick from. Now he's given a bit of space and he kicks it outside 50 metres. Caviden doing the contest there. Phillips, unselfishly, Gleeson. Left foot kick by Gleeson, who was the player behind Carlton getting in towards the full forward area. Free kick, it's going to Carlton. Be taken by Arceri for holding, according to the umpire. Plays on, kicks to the front of the goals, and Dorotic takes a mark that looked very, very simple in these very difficult conditions. Maynard maybe should have punched Bernie.
Well, no doubt he should have punched. I think he did try to get the fist there, but it wasn't a very strong attempt at punching. But Mark Arceri, interestingly enough, has had 4 free kicks.
Out of what, 6 kicks?
Yeah.
66% of his kicks coming from frees. Well, we can ask a question about that. He is a small player that gets in and under, but here's Dorotic from 40 metres out directly in front with a fairly new ball, and it's a magnificent kick by Dorotic, Carlton's 5th goal.
Lee off the ground and Hart on as Carlton swing into attack again. I don't know what the coach had to say at half-time, but David Parker must have said a lot. Ratton. Kernahan.
I think what's been important that Carlton have made the breaks from the centre.
Yes,
they look as though they may get their 3rd goal, within about 6 minutes or 5 minutes, and each time they've taken it away from the centre.
Again, the ball fairly new as we see that lead of Kernahan's marking in front of Smart. The ball still fairly new and dry as it can get.
And maybe the ground just drying out fractionally too, Robbo. I know it is still very heavy, but we haven't had any rain from the start of this sense of commencement of this match. There's a very good grab out in front by Kernahan.
Kernahan kicks it goal, and not a good one. Hart, as I said, has just come onto the ground, is prepared to concede the behind, and another point to Carlton. 6 now to 6-5, 36 plays 41.
Peter, just another example of how the player has to get that left foot. If he's a right foot kick, that left foot just has to have some substance underneath him when he goes to kick the footy, and Stephen Kernahan had no chance there, slipping as he kicked the ball. McDermott kicks Adelaide up towards half forward. Liptak over the top. Bassett gathers, just gets his left foot to the ball. Bit of good fortune here for Dean. Went over the top of Liptak's head, up to half forward. Ratton can't keep the ball in. Bond was there to gather it if he had been able to, but we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward, slightly favouring Carlton on that outer side. Cavadon doing a good job in the ruck contest. Can't take the ball away, neither can McDermott. Vickley's a chance. He gets his foot to the ball and kicks it towards half forward. Out comes Liptak. Kick off the ground, goes close to the line, and it's over for a boundary throw in 50 metres from the Adelaide goal. And Max Stevens is an injured player down there on the bench.
Well, the situation is, Ian, that Justin Madden is still in the Carlton rooms. He has a nose injury following an incident in the second term, but the club doctor assures me he'll be out shortly.
Klug scoops the ball into the open spaces. Players trying some soccer tactics. Bradley boot the ball pretty quickly. This could be dangerous. It's right across the face of goal. Still 50 metres from the goals, though. A pretty heavy collision out there. Reynolds. Good tackle applied by Gleeson. Tried to get boot the ball quickly. Couldn't do so. Jamison offloaded. Jarman. A very skillful player, wet or dry. Seems to be riddling in these conditions. Marking contest. Nobody could bring it down. Bond's hand pass was as good as could be expected under the circumstances. Arseeri nearly took that mark. Good tackle applied by Jamison.
Too high, Pete.
Too high. Free kick.
5 free kicks, Pete.
Guess who's getting it? Yeah. Friend of the umpire. Goes for the hand pass. There's Reynolds. Back to centre wing. Nickens punch away. Effective. Tregenza. Short kick down towards the right half forward position. Ratton. He got boot the ball quickly there. And McDermott, who really plays a poor game. Always leads from the front. Can't ask any more from the captain. Jamison. A quick hand pass. Bond. Alvin. Gleeson tries to keep the ball in play. Jarman's in the road though for the Crows. Quick left foot kick out in front of goal. An excellent play, and the mark is taken by McIntyre.
Very clever centering kick there by Jarman too. He's doing some good work in the start of this at the start of this third quarter.
McIntyre hasn't scored a goal so far today.
He played all right last week. He played on Langford at full forward and did quite a good job.
Well, can the Crows get a steadier? They need one. He's got the distance and only one behind though to the Crows. And that takes their score along to 6-6. Carlton 5-6. The difference only one goal.
And Peter Dean back there to kick the ball back into play for the Blues. Little undecided as to which direction to take. Goes straight up the ground. It does it pretty well. Kicks it towards centre half back. In there is Bassett. He can't get away with the football, and the umpire will be forced to ball it up. Very, very muddy area. That's probably the worst area on the ground just there, where the umpire is about to ball it up. It looks like a building site out there. Over the top was Cavadon. Bond. Brown for Adelaide. Coming through strongly is Verbeek. Trying to make the play. Tackled by Brown. Gathered by Andrew Jarman. Kick is high into the pocket. Little too high. Dean gets back. Good spoiling tactics by Peter Dean. Good shepherd there by Bond, and that's the real good team lefting stuff done by Carlton. Dean's handball. Arseeri. Another handball. Bassett. Back to Dean. Dean, who's run on nicely. Kicks it high to half forward. No mark taken. Punched away by Hart. Vickley to Brown. And Adelaide go back towards half forward, where a good mark is taken by Murphy. And shepherding against the Adelaide player, Klug. And it could have nearly been 50 metres. The Carlton fans screaming as the ball comes wide, and Glasgow gets through. Gets through too easily for Neil Curley and Graham Corns, I would think. Reynolds, short kick. Gleeson kicks quickly. Centre half forward, Dorotic just drifting across the face, and he marks about 40 metres out. And again, it will be testing material for John Dorotic.
Fifth mark to John Dorotic. He's had 4 kicks, kicked 2 goals.
And in conditions prevailing,
I think he's played
he's done well, hasn't he?
Very good game today, John Dorotic.
Why would you think that he was taken off? I mean, in your opinion?
Well, I could not work it out. The only thing I could think of was that short pass. He tried to short pass to Kernahan, And that's the only reason I could think of why he would have been taken from the ground.
Nice long kick. It's going to go close to the line. Carlton mark taken by Kernahan. What a good mark. What an excellent mark taken by the captain. His opportunities have been very few. He's coming up for his 7th kick, but that's his 5th mark. And that's an idea of what he's confronted with to try and thread this through. If he kicks the goal, scores will be level. And we've still got 16 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. So Stephen Kernahan just improves the angle, and a shot straight across the face. Dorotich marks it again.
Kick to kick. Kick to kick, these two, yeah. Johnny Dorotich, well, at least his angle will be slightly better, but that was a shocking kick, wasn't it, from Kernahan? He tried to improve his angle slightly. There's Gleeson just reassuring him, saying, don't worry about it. Let's have a look at that kick off the boot. Oh, almost as a clearing kick from Kernahan.
Dorotich is well within scoring distance, but when you say that, you have your heart in your mouth a little bit, because the players are really having trouble with the footy. Dorotich concentrating hard, kicks for goal and kicks accurately.
3 goals to John Dorotich. And back into the centre. Jarman gets taken down. McDermott goes for the hand pass, and that was effective. The Crows can get something moving now. They need to. Carlton's been doing all the attacking in the 3rd quarter. Tragenta looks for a free kick for holding the ball. Ratton, a hurried hand pass. And that is a high tackle by Ratton, surely on Lindner.
That's the way the umpire's seen it.
And Bruce Lindner at right centre wing will take the free kick. No love lost between that pair, after or judging by an incident earlier in the day. Good kick by Lindner under the circumstances. Kicks to half forward. Klug, he seems to revel in these conditions. The short pass, or hand pass, is onto Filkey. A quick kick into space at full forward. Dean gets back pretty quickly, playing well this quarter, Dean. Right on the boundary line is Bassett. And the kick is over the boundary line from Bassett. And it's going to be a Crows free kick. And Jarman will take it. Almost at left half forward flank. High kick, and Murphy chipping in. Maybe too far out to score. The ball getting a little bit heavier.
He kicked a magnificent goal in the 1st quarter.
Can he do it again?
And it was further out, but it was in a much better position, where I must, for fear of repeating myself, the footing with the non-kicking foot was much better than what it's going to be from where he's kicking this.
Yeah, that's the bottom line, isn't it? About 45 metres out. Well, you picked it, Robbo.
In the back, McDermott push out. Well spotted by the umpire.
Phillips has played well for Carlton too.
Especially in the 1st quarter. Looks for Bradley. I was going to say can't find him, but he does find him now. Craig Bradley at the left half-back flank. Hooks it up towards the centre wing position. Hawker can't quite handle the ball. The wet ball, very hard to pick up. Finally gets a quick kick out, only to see Filkey in the road. Kicks the ball across his body, back to half-forward, or half-back if you like, and the mark is taken by Cavidan down there. Hand passes away with Glasgow, one of the veterans now on the Carlton side.
Glasgow with no one to kick it to, now is forced to kick it towards David Kernahan, and he gives the free kick away when he really looked as though he was a chance to take the footy away. The handball goes towards Brown, he falls over, David Kernahan comes in and retrieves the situation for the Blues, knocking the ball over the boundary line. Great stuff by Kernahan. He must have been quite tired. He ran about 50 metres to make position for the Glasgow kick, but with desperation got back there. Dean, left foot kick to centre wing. Oh, dropping it back there was Bickley. Handball goes to Filkey. Filkey's kick towards centre half forward. Crows a chance here. Murphy runs into an open goal, tries to give the handball away. Back there was Verbeek, combines with Reynolds, and the short pass finds David Kernahan, and the Blues, there's a fight on behind play. Verbeek having a bit of a dip at Murphy.
The tempo has really lifted, hasn't it, the 3rd quarter? Carlton with a sense of urgency about them.
David Kernahan's kick is wide. Bond taken away by Dorotich. Handball wide to Phillips. Phillips has his 15th kick, and the mark is taken by Jarman. Jarman just wide of the centre, 50 metres.
Yes, yeah, good decision too. Straight over the mark.
Against White.
And he just deliberately went 3 or 4 metres over the mark.
Oh, 50 metres was good too. But again, he's going to have trouble because he's running straight through that very, very muddy area. Carlton making a change, Hawker coming off, and Sexton coming back on as Andrew Jarman shoots for goal. He gets good distance right up under the goal line, cleared by Tavidon. Still in the Adelaide Crows full forward area, Reynolds and Bassett, the ex-Coburg teammates. Bassett's kick close to the line has been marked out here by Maynard, who plays on the half-back line and is up on the half-forward line. His short pass finds McDermott.
He just followed his opponent, Hawker, who was taken from the ground.
McDermott's kick, no mark taken. Yes, it's been paid over the shoulder, and it's going to young White. White gets back quickly. Left foot kick towards the centre position. No mark taken. Here's a chance for Tregenza. Handball. Smothered brilliantly by Phillips. There was a free kick, not seen by the umpire. Kick towards full forward and a mark to the Crows taken by Murphy.
4 marks to Murphy, 7 kicks. He's kicked 2 goals.
Played pretty well, Murphy.
He has. He's been pretty lively, and we also think he's been reported by the emergency umpire on a striking charge.
He was a bit stiff to be the only one so far, to our knowledge.
Well, there were so many incidents happening there, Robbo, wasn't there, at the start of the game? It would have been pretty hard to catch a lot of them. A lot of pushing and shoving. A couple of big haymakers thrown as well.
Now Murphy obviously questioning just where the player is on the mark, because this is a very important kick. He's directly in front. He's not going to get the distance, I don't think. It's inaccurate anyway. Well, only slightly. It hit the post, according to the goal umpire. So it's a behind to the Adelaide Crows, and they lead by that one behind.
Under 10 minutes left in the third quarter. This is David Kernahan having his hands full at full-back at the moment. Straight up the ground with the kick. Knock on by Cameron. A chance for Carlton now. The ball is booted up towards the centre wing position. This is Bickley.
Oh, danger.
Over the top. Brown couldn't take it. Bond still inside the centre square. Good kick with the wet and heavy ball. Kernahan in front. Just can't quite take the mark. Umpire very nearly could have played it, but a good decision to play on. Arsiri looking for holding the ball.
No, the umpire is just not going to give that today.
Kernahan asked him the question, but gee, he's not entitled to, I don't think, Pete.
What, for the mark?
No, for the mark. No way.
No, it wasn't the mark.
One grab at it, the second one he just didn't get his hands to it. He would have been very fortunate had he been paid that one.
So ball up. Carlton's right forward pocket. Linda kicks the ball clear. Tasker. McDermott. Good long kick by the Crows captain up to the centre wing position. He was looking for Murphy, who tries to paddle the ball literally in front of him, then gets grabbed when not in possession. Still no free kick from the umpire. Brown off the ground, only succeeds in finding Gleeson. Gleeson's kick to half forward. Linda sets himself forward, and again no mark call. Much the same as Kernahan, so at least consistency there. And that's what the players look for. Bassett's kick, high but not too long. Ratton, a short kick, and Maynard. Very, very effective player at either ends of the ground. Goes to the outer side. Ball tapped out in front of Smart. And Smart gets clear. A lovely balk under these conditions. McDermott gives it back to him. The juggle was there and he's lost it. Must be like a cake of soap. Well, the skipper goes for the hand pass. So Bickley finally up towards centre field. Bassett applies a tackle. Jarman. There was a free kick paid. The umpire paid the advantage rule and dropping back to take the ball for Carlton. There's Reynolds, who's gone to the outer side, and he finds Verbeek on the right half-back flank. Hugs the boundary line with the kick. Brown back to Murphy. He's been a very valuable player today. Tries for Klug. He just tried to do a little bit too much with it. Then the ball beats him over the boundary line for a throw-in. 7.5 minutes left in the term.
Yes, it's amazing. I'm sure that the efforts of the players to be productive are seen upon by the coaches as a good point, but certainly they can try and do just a little bit too much in these awkward conditions. The ball on centre wing. Filkey could have been held by Dorotich. Kicked by Bickley. Back towards centre half forward for the Crows. Now an opportunity for Murphy, who's doing well. Kick towards full forward. Chance here for Jamison. Quite skillful. Gets past Reynolds. Short kick, hasn't gone far enough. McIntyre, kick across his body, and dropping the mark was Gleeson. It's a kick off the ground. Back there, was that Andrew Jarman? No, Jamison. And it's through for a behind. So Jamison not having the luck that shines upon James Morrissey, the unbelievable freak from Hawthorn. His kick off the ground, just missing to the right. David Kernahan. Well, obviously the footing's not too bad back in the goal square because his kicking in has been impeccable. The ball at centre-half forward. Dean, sweeping hand pass, finds Bassett. Bassett, a little bit too much. Still got the football. Could have been in the back. No. Still got the footy. And the umpire will call for a ball up.
That's where it's always better, Robbo, in a situation where there's some sort of dispute to get the ball under the boot and just kick it as far as possible.
I think the sun's shining, Peter. It is.
I don't think I'll get out the Pisbune straight away, Robbo. The ball up. Jarman. A quick kick out of the pack, and it travels about 20 metres, but the mark has been taken. I think it's Liptak. Maybe too far out to score under these conditions because that's a very heavy part of the ground. I think he realised that. He went for the short pass, and he's got Jamison with a real slips catch.
This Carlton player is very slow to get back and fill up those gaps. Allow Jamison plenty of room to lead into.
Jamison might even go around a little bit, making the angle worse if he can find some better footing. I did say before, one of the best kicks in the side. He, of course, kicked that goal in the closing stages against Fitzroy. 40 metres out, goal umpire moves across to the far side and indicates only one behind. So that's his third. 3 behinds, and in fact Adelaide lead by 3 points now with 5 minutes left in the quarter. 6-9 to 6-6. And again, Kernahan kicks in. Robbo said impeccably. Well, that's been pretty right. Good tackle applied down there by Bassett.
Looks like Steve Kernahan now doing the ruck work. He's changed with Cavidan, who's now having a spell at full forward.
With Justin Madden still off the ground. So another ball up, 50 metres from goal. Kernahan loses that one out to Micken. And Carlton will get clear. Dean, a high kick. Jarman, White, looks for Ratton. Sexton does the shepherding. Chance for the Blues now as it's driven forward by Bond. No one home. And Smart will pick up the crumbs well, pretty close to the boundary line. Siri gets a hand in the face for his trouble. And ducking back to take the mark is Tregenza at right half back.
Tregenza now steadies and kicks it in the Stephen Kernahan direction. No mark taken. Murphy, Jarman, still has the football. Now he flips it on. Kernahan's got it. Some good shepherding there. Allowed Stephen Kernahan some room to get his kick away. Good mark, Gleeson.
Excellent.
Could nearly be classified as mark of the day. We saw a beauty earlier taken by Rod Jamison, but that was a fantastic mark.
That was courage, wasn't it, Robbo?
Certainly was. Bernie, there's a change there, is it?
Hawker on the ground, Sexton off.
Dorotich, kick off the ground by Phillips. Still Dorotich. Chance for Alvin, who's been quiet. Bickley in there trying to clear the ball out for the Crows, and umpire Carey will ball it up. Been very, very tough for the players, and McGuinness gets one of his rare possessions this afternoon. Bickley's kick is pretty good, back in towards the centre of the ground. McDermott, sweeping hand pass, good. Tregenza drops it. Kernahan a good bump. Gleeson over the top, could have interfered with Klug. Blues may get it. Gleeson can't break away. Umpire will come in and ball it up. And the players still looking for that guy underneath with the footy to be penalised.
Well, I'm pleased to see that they're not so quick with the whistle these days, Robbo, because in these conditions it's almost impossible to knock the ball out. 3 or 4 Carlton players really just kept the ball in and didn't allow Klug any chance to knock it out.
Kernahan's tap went to Tregenza. His kick has been marked by Verbeek at half-back. Looking to give it off, and he has to Bassett. Bassett, who doesn't kick it all that well with that right foot, forced to go on that side. Rennett's kick. Oh, no one home. He kicked it straight to Bickley. Siri underneath it. Brown dispossesses. Bond is in there for Carlton. And the umpire will call for a ball up. It's just wide of centre-half forward for the Blues. And with just over 2 minutes left, there'd be a chance to kick a goal here. No, McDermott comes clear. Gives it away to Tasker. Tasker's kick has been marked by Stephen Kernahan.
at centre-half back, having a run on the ball, as has been mentioned. Not a bad kick. Dodd hits the target. He's been marking well today. Slips through the fingers of Tasker, but he was good enough to get a little poke out the back of the pack. Micken from a standing start. Kicks the ball wide. A real mud patch out there. Liptak, Hawker. Hawker tries to paddle the ball forward. Glasgott's in there for Carlton. Tries to gain possession. Brown went for the tap on. Now Lindner. A beautiful kick by the former Geelong player. So Reynolds. And Carlton will get clear. This is Verbeek. No one there at all. And will it make it? It's just crossed it.
I bet Simon Verbeek was wishing like anything then that ball would go over.
It made it by half a metre, didn't it? So boundary throw in. McIntyre in front of Kernahan and tapped it down effectively. Not clear of the pack, which builds by the minute. So another ball up inside 50, 6-9 to 6-6. It's been a good quarter for Carlton. The early part of it was. That could be the telling period in the final term when the ball is new. The team that can get possession out of the centre and get a couple of goals on the board could go on and win this game. It's very hard to score when the ball becomes heavy. Klug battling for with his skipper. Siri went in very solidly, didn't come out with a football. And again, the umpire will ball it up. So only half a minute left now. Maybe time has run out for either team to gain a score. Still a couple of kicks from goal, even on the 50-metre line. It's Adelaide's end of the ground, of course. McDermott has the ball underneath him. Tempers again becoming a little bit frayed. And Kernahan is going to get the free kick. That's to the delight of the Carlton crowd. 16 seconds left in the term. It need to be a miracle to score a goal. And a couple of kicks even from there.
McGuinness is off the ground too, Peter. He's been replaced by Lee.
Maynard. Good safe mark onto Filkey. Filkey kicks back to the centre wing position, finds the skipper, McDermott. Centering kick from him. The idea was right. The clock was just a little bit too far down. And at three-quarter time, less than a kick in it. The Crows leading by 3 points. 6-9, 45. Carlton, 6-6, 42.